happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot coming back to you with another video. And today's video is going to be a deck profile, my very first deck profile for the Battle of Omni BT5 format in Shoutmon DX. As we all know, Red took a back seat last set, BT4. Red Omni was still kind of popping. We also did have shout out to Alex for winning with Red Omni as well. But overall, yellow and purple and green were the big shine decks of last format. And but now we're here with Shoutmon DX, and he is breathing some new life into the Red team as a whole. So I'm very excited to show you guys the deck profile. This is also untested, by the way, so this is one of my first versions I will be playing, and I will actually have some gameplay for it as well, so be expecting some of that soon against Hexablaumon. So I know there's like two decks that people are really excited for, especially Hexablau. A lot of people have a lot of love for Hexablaumon, so shout out to Hexablau, and I'll see if we can get a deck profile for that on the Limit Break channel. Shout out to the team as well sometime soon. But without further ado, we're actually just going to jump right into the deck profile. One thing I will say about Digimon deck profiles is they are rather quick, especially because there's a lot of the same copies of cards, so not too much to talk about, and the videos don't go too long. So we are going to start with the babies. Of course, the babies we are playing are the 4 Koromons, where it all started. The BT1, starter deck 1 Tycoomia structure deck. This Koromon, when you have 4 Digivolution sources under your current Digimon, you gain 1,000 attack. Very easy to do with this deck. You're able to stack and actually restack with some other things, and I'll explain that later. And it's very easy to trigger this +1k attack. Not too much more to say about that. Definitely like 4 Koromon so far. Digimon might be okay as well too, but you know what? You don't have a lot of removal in this deck. You technically have removal with your Blitz mechanic, but you don't have actual like a ton of removal like the usual Omni decks and stuff. But Digimon is probably fine as a one-of as well. But the one of I'm choosing to play is shout out to a pre-release stamp. I forgot I even had this. Shoutmon. Shoutmon is the baby that, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon is a level 7, gain 1 memory. So essentially, your Blitz Omni, he costs 4. If you're at 3 with one of your memory tamers, you would go to 1. And what's really cool is you'll still get the Blitz because it's just still your opponent's turn, and then you're in the act of attacking. So as you're attacking, that'll trigger because Blitz is a keyword, but it also means you attack. Then you can trigger the Shoutmon to be able to gain 1 memory and go back to 0 and still be your turn, which is actually really cool. So it's a ruling that I was looking at on that, and I think that's really cool. And ultimately, again, I was playing all the Omnimons, it just makes sense to be able to play this one and make your Omnimon essentially a 3 cost. Starting with the actual deck list itself, we're gonna of course go over the rookies. And starting off with the rookies, we have the main rookie in the deck. We have Shoutmon. This Shoutmon is very nice. He has some very cool effects. So on play, you are able to reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and add 1 card with Shoutmon in its name and 1 card with Blitz among them to your hand. Now, something to keep in mind that was just pointed out to me by one of my teammates is he doesn't actually have Blitz, but he has the Blitz keyword in his text. So you can technically actually add, like if you were to reveal 2 Shoutmons off of your 5 cards, you can add just 2 Shoutmons. But yeah, you're able to add your Omni Shaman, your Shoutmon DX, of course, and yeah, this is just a very nice, not necessarily a starter card, but throughout the game to be able to dig. And of course, this is like Ludamon and the other cards that help you, dig as well, akin to those. So, and he has an ESS as well. While this Digimon has Blitz, it gains 2,000 attack. So right out the gate, you make your big guy is your Zeke 13, and then your Shoutmon DX 14. So very, very nice effect. Very solid card. Can't play less than 4. Next up, we have 4 Augment. This Augment also helps you. So, like, the name of the game in this format seems like there's a lot of just big guys running around between Zort the Feet, like purple and like black have like these huge guys as well that you have to worry about any security. So trying to get your Digimon as big as possible, over probably the threshold of, you want to get to at least 16, yeah, I guess 16 is what you really just want to get to, unless you're playing against black and they're playing like a ton of like, 19k blockers or Zubagon Punch, etc. But very simple effect. Also from the starter deck, this Digimon gains 1,000 on your turn. Like I said, pump your Omnimon up, get it to a threshold till it won't die, too much in the security, and keep going from there. Next up, we need some vanillas here, so we're going to play a couple 2-cost vanillas. We're definitely got to play the Monodroman because I didn't even realize earlier that the new 1-cost blocker that Red got is also, I think I want to say, is the Digivolution to this card, so that's really cool. So playing the Monodroman, this is kind of like using the Red Omni tactics that we used back in the day to be able to speed into your Omni the most efficiently that you can. This also helps you to go wide as well when you're looking to push for a game on the following turn. This is good for first turn where like you only have rookies. Let's say you're like missing a level 4 and you Digivolve another rookie, and then like you play this 2-cost, etc. This has a lot of applications. A very solid card. Trust in the vanillas, they're definitely very good. And then last but not least, to round out our 14 rookies, we have 2 of the new Agumon as well. So this is a 3-cost, 2 KDP, 0 to Digivolve. And on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 Digimon with Greymon in its name, other than, the 3 Greymons that are forbidden, and 1 card with Omnimon in its name to your hand. So if you get lucky and, be able to reveal a Omnimon as well, whatever you reveal, you definitely get some solid value out of this card. Depending on how this first list goes, I definitely want to potentially up the Omnis and up the count of these to be able to have the Shoutmon and also the Agumon to potentially filter through my deck and get to my pieces as soon as possible. So right now we're only playing 14 rookies, I said that right, 14 rookies. And then next up for our level 4s, we got to start with another tried and true, also from the starter deck. Shout out to the starter deck 1, Tycoomia. We have the security attack +1 inheritable Greymon. So 2 to the Digivolve, we all know and love this card. Build your stack up, get your Omnimon Blitz in, use the Blitz effect, hopefully drill a whole bunch of your opponent's security at once, give or take if they have any options or whatever to trigger. If they don't, you're just ruining their security pretty early on, as long as you have your lines right, and put a lot of pressure on your opponent very sooner than later. So definitely a solid card. This is a card I can potentially see myself playing around with, but for now we're going to start with the 4, keep a lot of this list simple. Next up, we're going to play the new card, the one I was talking about, the Digivolution of Monodroman, Monochromon. So Monochromon is finally, red has their 1-cost blocker. Of course, being a 1-cost blocker, that means it's going to have 5k DP. So watch out for those Alter S's, watch out for those Nidhummongs, etc., etc. But this is just another line. It's our blocker now of choice over Coromon for now. And, just efficiently being able to get into your lines at the lowest cost possible and still have a very solid card and, finally got our red blocker. Of course, blue has their blue block, 1-cost blocker now as well. So shout out to the 1-cost blockers. And then last but not least, for our level 4s, we have 2 Fugamon. So Fugamon also acts as a rookie, so this pretty much has 16 rookies. Because he's 3 to Digivolve, he's also 1 to Digivolve over your level 3s to choke your opponent at the beginning of the game, or to, again, efficiently be able to get through your lines to get into your bigger guys. Now, ultimately, we're not worried about his 3k DP or anything. He's just there to help build into our bigger guys, our more important characters, more efficiently. So if you have to hard drop this, it is what it is. You don't feel bad about it though, because it has 3 costs, just like your rookies. And that's it for the level 4s. Next up, we have the level 5s, our ultimates. We have Omni Shaman. Omni Shaman is such a dope card. What he does is he's like a hybrid where you're able to kind of skip and cheat evolution out, if you will. Over your Shoutmon, you are able to, this guy right here, your rookie, over your Shoutmon, you were able to Digivolve from this into your Omni Shaman for a cost of 4 instead of the 3 that you need when you Digivolve over one of your level 4s. And that probably won't happen often. I will say, like, maybe if you have your Tycoomia out or whatever, memory tamer you have, you'll start at 3 and then you won't feel so bad about doing this if you're missing a level 4. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm only playing 10 level 4s. I feel like 10 might be a little too little. I feel like I want to play a little too little. Might want to potentially add a 11th, but because this technically acts as a level 4, if I have Shoutmon out, it's fine. And what's nice is, like, Shoutmon can find this, which it can allow you to Digivolve into it, and then the following turn be able to go into your Megas, etc. So very, very cool card. And his ESS skill, we can't forget about it. While your Digimon has Blitz, gains security attack +1. So if you have this, plus you have the your Greymon here, you have security attack +2, and you're definitely just ripping through your opponent's security. Very dope card, very nice addition to the, of course, the team. You definitely need this card. It's, and plus with your Shoutmon DX, this card is also important for his effect, which we'll get into here in a little bit. Next up, we have Groundramon. One thing I realized about Groundramon, which is really cool, is when you have one of the tamers that I'm going to show here in a little while, this being a 5-cost, you can play this 5-cost in the same turn. And it being that he's a level 5, you can go into your Shoutmon DX. We'll talk about all of that here in a second, but especially because NA loves security control, this is very important for this card to be a level 5 as well, because when they give you so much memory with a Magna Angemon or a Magnadramon, etc., whatever they're playing, Gaia Forces, etc., when they put you above like 5 memory, or even if they put you at 5, being able to play this and then also play your Shoutmon over it and then do your lines after that is very, very good. So I think it being a 5-cost is very important. And again, I'll be coming back to this card here in a little while. But we have, we have 9 level 5s, and our last level 5 is going to be Metal Greymon. So very simple. We don't usually use the effect to get security attack +2 and lose 5 memory. We're in a situation where we have, again, both of our tamers in play and we have a whole bunch of memory. There might be a rare, very rare situation where we might use this card, but we're only playing 1 on top of that, so we're not going to see it as often, and we're probably not going to be using it for that. We're probably going to just be using this just to go into our next line, which is his inheritable. We're using it for, well, which gains plus 3,000 DP on your Digimon on your turn. So 9 level 5s. And then next up into our megas, the real fun stuff. So we have, shout out to pre-release Zeke Greymon, really cool. So for Zeke Greymon, this is a new card from the BT5 Battle of Omni set. And what it does is it has Blitz, simple as that. So keep in mind with the Blitz keyword, what that means is if I'm at one memory and I Digivolve into the Zeke, your opponent will go to 2. And because it is their turn, I'll be able to use Blitz and then still attack. So if I go to 0, I have to attack like normal, which is probably fine because you're able to attack, and that's just the point probably anyway. But that's what Blitz has to do. So just keep that in mind when you have Blitz, that the turn has to literally pass to your opponent. You can't do anything like where you pass to your opponent, but then you gain memory because some other effect. If it's still your turn before you end up swinging, you won't actually be able to effectively use the Blitz. Now, he has 11k DP, very solid, and he's only 3 to Digivolve, which is nice. And his ESS effect is inheritable, is on your turn when this Digimon attacks with Blitz, it can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So first thing that comes to my mind is this is just like Chaosmon from BT04, the normal one, not Vaulted Arms, of course. And yeah, this is just very good. So there's no piercing that you can do with this. I am thinking about adding in Durandamon over one of these Zeeks though, because Durandamon, you know, the Ragnarlormon piece has piercing. So like if I have a Durandamon, I can Digivolve into Durandamon, then I can Digivolve into Shoutmon, which we will just show here now. Shout out to the, where did I do with it? Okay, All-Star Shoutmon that I ended up pulling, so that was really nice. That was a blessing. But yeah, so you have a lot of insane plays you can do with this. So like you can, let's say if I did have Durandamon, which I am, again, considering. So you can consider potentially cutting the Zeke for Durandamon because it gives an inheritable of piercing to, you know, of course, pierce over your opponent's Digimon. But yeah, this is just all insane. So anyway, this Shoutmon DX, best card in the deck. The deck's named after, obviously. We built around it. And what his effect is, he is 4 to Digivolve over a level 5, like normal. And then he actually has, I think, one of the first we've ever seen where you're able to Digivolve over another level 6 for 2. And the reason why you're able to do that is because if you're in a point of the game where like you're playing against Rookie Rush or you're playing against any kind of deck that just has like a lot of little guys on the field or whatever the case is, what his effect is first of all, he has Blitz. Of course, we all know about that. And then the second effect is when Digivolving, you may put one red Digimon from your hand under this card's on the top of this card's Digivolution sources. Then if you have for every Zeke and this guy, Omni Shaman, that you have under your Shoutmon DX, you can delete one of your opponent's 5k or less Digimon. So you can essentially, like against Rookie Rush or whatever, literally pop 1 to 2 guys, 3 if you really have that insane of a line. But one thing I was thinking about is, let's say if you have 2 Zeeks in your hand and 1 Shoutmon, if you are at 3 memory, you can Digivolve over your level 5 for a Zeke. Then you can pass turn by Digivolving into Shoutmon for 4, put them to 4, use the Shoutmon effect to add another Zeke under your guy. So you'll have 2 Zeeks under here, and you'll be able to pop 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 5k or less. So you can get rid of their 5k blockers. You know, 5k blockers seem like what the formats are kind of potentially evolving into. So no matter what it is, you'll be able to get rid of their Gazimon, their whatever. You get rid of, you know, those characters, those Digimon rather. And then you're also still able to swing, and then keep in mind you can swing into one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, which is a very good effect. And then of course, if you have your ideal stack is to have some inheritables that will give you an attack boost, and you just go to town from there. So what's also really cool about this is like this is an evolution and a step up from Chaosmon, because keep in mind Chaosmon, even if you have no security left and they Chaosmon you and pierce over your character, pierce won't win you the game. You have to attack directly, and Chaosmon doesn't allow you to do that. But with the Blitz mechanic, you literally can just like swing with your Zeke and then play, like if you already had it out, and then play the Shoutmon and just attack for game, like if they don't have a blocker. And then if they do have a blocker, obviously you just get rid of it. So very insane effect. This card is very, very good. I like this deck. I think this deck will probably be at least tier 1.5 to tier 2, and definitely can still take some tournaments because I think this deck is very strong. So yeah, 8 level 6s. And then moving on to, of course, one of the other stars of the deck, we have Omnimon himself. So Omnimon, I call him Blitz Omni. And yeah, he also has Blitz as well. You get a swing for game with this a lot of time. He's only 4 to Digivolve. Of course, I talked about the combo earlier, or the little, not really a combo, but the mini combo earlier with Shoutmon, how if you're at 3 or, you know, if you're at 3, 2, or 1 or whatever, you can Digivolve into this, and or even what's cool, let's say you're at 0, you can Digivolve into the Omnimon. They'll go to 4. When you swing, they'll go to 3, and it's still their turn. You get the Blitz effect, and then they go to 3 like normal. So you just Digivolve into a level 7 that has protection against, you know, against your opponent, which is very nice. And then what did I say? Protection. Well, his protection effect is on all turns. If your opponent's effect will delete this Digimon or return it to its owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by trashing a level 6 Digimon card in this card's Digivolution cards. So I think about cards like Gaia Force. I think about cards like Casitas Breath. I think about everything but DP reduction. So, you know, this might have a little bit of trouble against yellow decks, but overall, being able to protect against Gaia Force, against like security control and things like that, and you know, even when they Eden's Javelin you and things like that, they're probably not going to be able to get you low enough to where, I mean, I guess it depends on, you know, what the situation is, but ultimately, being able to protect against a lot of cards like that is a very, very strong and very important. So even like when you're swinging into security and you do have Casitas Breath, it is able to protect. And I think this is one of the first, if not the first card that has a protection effect like this. There are some times where I can see where you have a Shoutmon, and if you use Shoutmon's effect to get a Zeke under there as well, then, you know, you have 2 protections, because you have the Shoutmon level 6 and then you have your Zeke level 6. So you have 2 layers of protection to protect from cards like Casitas Breath, you know, and all the other cards that, you know, delete or whatever and that threaten your Omnimon. So definitely very good card, one of the other best cards in this deck. And if, you know, regular Omnimon wasn't enough, we got the Antibody. So I'm only going to play 1 Antibody for now and see how this works out. But this card, you can Digivolve over Omnimon for a cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. And when attacking, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. So this is one way to out Armageddonmon if we start seeing Armageddonmon decks. Of course, you can delete other Omnimons. You can try to delete this Omnimon, but let's say like this Omnimon is tapped, you can actually try to attack and use this. If they protect with the Omnimon, then you actually just kill it by battle. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, they probably wouldn't protect. It doesn't really matter either way. But yeah, this outs the Armageddonmon. This outs just literally about everything. There's nothing that has 15k on or 16k or more on your turn other than like, you know, black decks that get, you know, super huge with cards like the Zubagon Punch. So yeah, very cool card. And then its other effect as well is like Negate Attack. Shout out to Negate Attack from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys are any old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Heads, you know what a card I'm talking about. But you can detach. This is not, now I'm thinking straight Yu-Gi-Oh! You can trash 2 Digivolution sources under this card to negate an attack, which is really cool. So if you have that whole line and you have like 5 to 6 cards under him, you can like potentially, well, I guess 6 cards because you need an even amount. You're able to you know, negate a couple of attacks. So I essentially call him a blocker. That's essentially what you're doing, is blocking an attack, which is really nice with no harm, no foul. So a very, very nice card. Excited to see how it works out. And then next up for our tamers, we have 2 of the new cards. We have 2 Tycoomia and Matt Sheetas, and then 2 regular Tycoomia. So this Tycoomia is actually very easy to trigger. I'm so happy we finally have, you know, no Digiburst or anything in here like this. You know, unless you're playing against like, you know, Hexablood decks or anything that's going to get rid of your Digivolution sources. Other than that, you'll be able to always be able to get the security attack +1. And then of course, he's always going to get you to 3 and be able to utilize that. Then also we have the Tycoomia and Matt Ashita. So at the start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon level 6 or higher, you gain 2 memory. So if you have both of these out, you'll start at 5 memory. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You'll start at 5 memory, and then you could play the Groundjamon and be at 0. And then you could literally go into your Shoutmon DX. So play the Groundjamon, go into Shoutmon DX, give them 4. Use Shoutmon's effect. If you have Zeke, put a Zeke under there, attack one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, or attack or put, you know, Omni Shaman under, and then get security attack +1. Very, very dope. Very, very cool synergy, and that's why I like the Groundjamon in this deck. And yeah, his other effect, if I'm attacking with an Omnimon, it gets security attack +1. So if I already have this out and then I play the Omnimon and I'm going for my opponent's you know, security, I'll be able to get an extra check. So yeah, having these 2 cards together, this is why I'm trying 2 and 2, because I really like to try to see both of these on the field, if not at least one of them. Worst case scenario, if my opponent's choking me and they do end up getting a level 6 on the field, this is like essentially having a memory tamer to be able to go to 3 at every turn, because of course the minimum they could choke you to is 1, and then you'll gain 2 and go to 3, and it's literally just like having a Tycoomia or whatever. So I'm gonna try it out, see how that works. Very excited to try it out. And then last but not least, this is a card that I'm iffy about. I don't even know if I really feel like I need these cards, but I feel like almost every red deck I play should play these cards, and that's Gaia Force. So of course it's great to see its security. You know, I mean, if you're starting at 5 memory, if you have the tie and if you have both ties on field, you'll be able to start at 5 memory. And then if they have a memory tamer or whatever the case is, you know, if you play a Gaia Force for 8, you're only putting them at 3. So that's actually not that bad. So we're talking about some situations where if we have both tamers out, whatever. But ultimately, I'm going to try the card out, see, whenever you're playing against almost any red deck, it's scary to attacking their security. And this is all the more reason why, you know, it's always kind of scary to attacking the security. Seeing this security is nice. Utilizing it the best you can when it's in your hand is always ideal as well. So now that I'm long-winded, I'm gonna get up out of here, and I hope you guys enjoyed guys and girls enjoyed the deck profile. I'll be getting some games in with this deck, probably through webcam for now, and then get some real life gameplay as well. So be expecting that soon. Let me know what you guys think about the deck profile. Comment down below what decks you guys are gonna be building, and what have you been pulling out of your packs. I'm still, I need like another defeat. I need one more Zwart. And I'd like to get that alternate antibody. I think everybody would, or just about everybody, you know, 80% of people. But yeah, I'd love to get that card, especially for my Altar collection. And overall, I'm just very excited for Battle of Omni. I got some more deck profiles coming for you. I got some more gameplay. And it's an exciting season. We got, you know, regional season coming up, leading to nationals, leading to worlds. A lot of stuff going on with the Digimon TCG. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, subscribe to the channel because I'll have a lot more videos coming for you soon. And I'm gonna head up out of here. Y'all know what it is. Y'all have a great day and or night whenever you're catching this video. This is your homie S. Dot with the Shoutmon DX deck profile. Heading out. Peace.